After conducting some research on the statistics of Mexican American murals and what they bring to Tucson culturally, socially, and economically, I found some of the good and bad effects. No doubt, murals are one of the strongest visual expressions of identity in Tucson, especially for the Mexican American community. Tucson is known as the city of murals. There are over 500 murals cataloged on public mural maps and databases. Out of those, I estimated that around 1 in 4 murals, about 20 to 30%, are created by Mexican/Mexican American or Latinx artists. This estimate comes from comparing the AZPM Southern Arizona Mexican and Latinx Mural Tour, which lists about 120 Latinx murals, to the total count of murals listed citywide. This share could range from about 15 to 40%. The murals are beautiful, don't get me wrong, but they do have some downsides and some things that go down behind closed doors that we don't see, and it's good to be knowledgeable about. They have good impacts like preserving and celebrating Mexican American heritage. They tell stories about families, migration, and even social justice. But neighborhoods like Barrio Viejo and South Tucson use murals to show pride in cultural continuity. The economic benefit that we could get from these murals are that they attract tourism, they have walking tours, and local businesses. Zillow also reports that homes in Barrio Viejo average around $450,000, and some are selling over $700,000, partially due to cultural and visual appeal. But the murals are often becoming landmarks that raise the visibility and reputation of a neighborhood. So art contributes not only to culture but also to revitalization and economic growth. But a downside to this is that some Mexican American families or parents wouldn't even be able to afford houses that were once so cheap, with the prices skyrocketing from the attraction of tourists. Another issue that I'd like to bring up is the cultural value versus economic displacement, like the complex effects that these murals have on the city. As murals make neighborhoods more beautiful and appealing, property values can rise. That sometimes leads to gentrification, pricing out longtime residents, especially lower-income Mexican-American families who made the area vibrant in the first place. Also, even though Mexican-American art enriches Tucson's culture, Latinx artists are still underpaid. According to CNBC 2024, Latinas earn about 58 cents for every dollar earned by a white non-Hispanic man in full-time work. That wage gap can carry into the arts. Many muralists only earn $800 to $2,700 per small mural, while large public commissions can reach $2,000 to $50,000, but those often go to better connected or non-local artists. So while murals bring value, the artists themselves don't always benefit equally. Whether or not, nobody could disagree that these murals are beautiful and represent our culture in some way, shape, or form, but having knowledge on what goes on behind closed doors is definitely important.
With over 100 of Tucson's murals, you can see that they are beautiful, expressive, and informative of the life and culture that comes with living here. Some tell the story of a Mexican-American life, but if you look closely, they also show us who in the community gets remembered and who gets left out. In the 1970s to the 1990s, the Chicano era of murals was very male-oriented, depicting male heroes, revolutionaries, and activists, often overlooking the work of Chicano women. An example of this is Cesar Chavez's memorial mural, which honors Chavez's and farm workers' struggle. But recent murals show a shift towards female empowerment and cultural leadership. In this mural, it centers a Latina woman as a symbol of strength and leadership. Another example is the mural of the goddess of agave in the House of Arts district, celebrating womanhood and indigenous femininity as sacred and life-giving, which is a beautiful message. But what is interesting is in mixed or family-oriented murals, women are often represented symbolically, like as mothers, saints, or cultural bearers, while men are shown as actors of change, workers, fighters, or leaders. When women are depicted in these murals, their roles differ from symbol to symbol, but when men are depicted, their role stays the same. Men are the heroes, they're the action, while women are symbols and are never able to be as they are. That difference reveals a subtle inequality of who gets to represent power. Part of the Mexican culture is the struggle and the pride. Oftentimes, when murals depict themes of pride, they highlight heritage in imagery, family, community, tradition, and bright colors. An example is Nuestra Raza Gente Unidas. It uses mixed races to show unity and cultural pride. Murals of struggle reflect activism, border crossing, labor rights, and resistance. The inequality happens in the ratios. There are more murals celebrating heritage and identity more than those confronting ongoing inequalities, like displacement, gentrification, or migration. Some critiques and community members note that the modern beautification of murals sometimes erase the struggle, focusing only on cultural as aesthetic instead of resistance. This shift from struggle to pride mirrors how cities want to be seen as celebrating Mexican identity. While this is good, it softens the political roots of it all.
Throughout our project, we explored how murals play a meaningful role in shaping Tucson's identity and bringing the community together. They're more than just artwork on walls, but more living stories that reflect who we are and what we value as a community. In conclusion, murals are powerful pieces of art that keep our neighborhoods unified and help tell our stories out loud. They share the rich cultural heritage of the Mexican American and Hispanic community in ways everyone can see and connect with. This kind of representation is especially important for our Latin community as it helps us see ourselves, our families, and our culture reflected proudly in public spaces. One mural that stood out to us was by Tucson artist Ignacio Garcia. It shows a child being chased by colorful piñatas, inspired by his childhood memory of being chased by bulls. By turning that memory into something playful, Garcia highlights imagination, childhood, and tradition. The piñata represents laughter, family, and celebration, something that connects generations. Murals like this show how Mexican traditions have blended into Mexican American culture and beyond. The piñata, once just for kids, is now part of all kinds of celebrations. And with the added statistics, we can see how much work our community puts into these pieces of art. These murals remind us that even in divided times, art can bring people together and make us proud of who we are and where we come from. Our group is proud to represent our project and proud to represent our people.